trig students. This is section 8.4. It's your last section in chapter 8. It's very short. We just have 4 examples here, and it's all about the area of a triangle. Now, I know you already learned the area of a triangle back in elementary school. You know that the area is 1/2 base times height. Well, that's great if we know the base and we know the height, but we don't always know both of those. So, in my math lab, they do use a capital K to refer to the area of a triangle, so you may see that. So here's that comfortable formula that you've known since childhood, which is the 1/2 base times height. The problem is the altitude. We don't always know that height of the triangle, especially if it's not a right angle triangle. So in those cases, we have 2 other formulas that we're going to look into. One of those formulas we're going to use if we are given 2 sides and and an included angle, the SAS. So in that case, my math lab likes this middle version. That'll be in my math lab question. Lots of my math lab questions on this first page. But we also see 2 other versions of that formula on each side of that original version. Any of those 3 is fine to use. We're just going to pick the one that has the sides that we are given and the angle that we are given. Okay, so another situation is that we aren't given any angle at all. We're only given the 3 sides. And you can find the area, absolutely find the area of a side-side-side triangle. We use what we call Heron's formula, which you'll see right here. Now there's 2 parts to Heron's formula. Before we actually get to the area formula, we need what we call the semi-perimeter. Now you know that a perimeter is just the sum of the sides of an object. Well, the semi-perimeter is half of a regular perimeter. So in this case, we're going to take all 3 sides, add them together, and multiply by 1/2 or divide by 2. Okay, that brings us then to our area formula for a side-side-side. And so what you'll see here is that the area is going to be the square root of 4 values. The first value is that semi-perimeter. The second is the difference in the semi-perimeter in side A multiplied by the difference in the semi-perimeter in side B and multiplied by the difference in the semi-perimeter in side C. So multiply those 4 values together and take the square root, and that will give you the area. So these items that I have highlighted, these are my math lab questions that are going to be on your homework. Let's turn the page and do the last 4 examples, and then you'll have everything that you need. Okay, example 1. We have a nice triangle here. I noticed that we're missing a label for angle B. There we go, right across from side B. This would be side A, and across from angle C would be side C. So I see that we have 2 sides and the included angle. Now we don't need to solve this triangle. We only want to find the area. So I do not have an altitude. I'm going to have to go to the first page and pick one of those 3 side angle side formulas, and I'm going to choose the one that has side A and C and side B. There we go. We're just going to plug in the values we have. So we're going to do 1/2 times 4 times 9 times the sine of 40 degrees. Plug all that in your calculator, make sure you're in degree mode, and you're going to have 11.57 as your area. Now, it's not going to ask you for units, but it doesn't hurt for us just to remember that these are square units, area squarea. We want to keep that in mind. Okay, our next example, we don't have any angles, but if we fill in the sides, we have a side, side, side situation. Okay, that's Heron's formula. So first thing we're going to need to do is find the semi-perimeter. So we're going to have 1/2 times the sum of all these sides. So 6 plus 2 plus 7 Multiply by 1/2, we get a nice 7.5. Okay, so now we're ready to fill in our giant area. Okay, now let's go ahead and write this formula out so we don't get confused about where our values are coming from. All right, first one is just going to be S, our semi-perimeter of 7.5. Then we're going to take 7.5 minus our value for A, 7.5 minus our value for B, and 7.5, whoops, I ended too early, 7.5 minus our value, stubborn little period there, for C, which is 7. Okay. Now you can go ahead and put that whole thing right in your calculator. If you have a graphing calculator, it can handle it. Otherwise, if you want to take it one step at a time, 7.5 minus 6 is 1.5. 7.5 minus 2 is 5.5. And 7.5 minus 7 is 0.5. Multiply all 4 of these together, hit enter, take the square root, and we have an area of 5.56. And again, that is square units, area square area. Okay, so now you have completed one of each type of these area problems. Let's do 2 more. Okay, we turn it over. The only difference of this side is that we don't have a triangle drawn for us. So we're going to do it ourselves. Okay, so if I draw in a triangle and I do standard labeling, my A is 75 degrees, side B is 1, and side C is 5. Now again, I'm not solving this triangle, I'm only finding the area. And I noticed from our given information that we have a side angle side. So I'm going to go to the front page and I'm going to choose one of those formulas that contains B and C and and angle A, sine of angle A. I'm going to fill these right in, 1/2 times 1 times 5 times the sine of 75 degrees. Put that right in my calculator and I get 2.41. And again, that is square units. So do you really have to draw the triangle? Well, it's nice to know that the information you're given is the information required for the formula. So that's always kind of nice. Now on example 4, no, you wouldn't have to draw the triangle because we clearly see we're given 3 sides and we know that Heron's formula only wants those 3 sides. But it doesn't hurt. Sometimes a visual makes all the difference, so I can go ahead if I wanted to and put those values in. Again, we are not solving. We are just finding the area. Okay, now for a side, we do need our semi-perimeter. We know we're going to add together A, B, and C, and we're going to divide by 2. Or if you like to just multiply by 1/2, same thing. Okay, so if I'm going to take 20 plus 22 plus 29 and multiply by 1/2, I get 35.5 as my semi-perimeter. Ready for our giant area formula. So here we go. I'm going to put in my S, and then I'm going to have S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. Okay, that can go right into your calculator, or we can clean it up a little first. 35.5 minus 20 is 15.5. 35.5 minus 22 is 13.5. And 35.5 minus 29 is 6.5. Multiply those 4 together and take the square root, and you get 219.74 And again, that is square units. And there we go. We have finished it all. So the next video I post will be your study guide. Go ahead and get all of your My Math Lab homeworks finished and your quiz. And don't forget about the practice review homework problems for the +5 bonus points. I miss you. Bye.